If you're seeing this, then this is your Tarot Tuesday messages. Hello, my name is Laura. Nice to see you. Welcome in. Whether you've been here before or if this is your first time finding me, amazing. We are going to take a look at the week ahead with our Oracle and our Tarot. Today, we'll talk a little bit about the astrology that's happening over the next 7 days, what we can just sort of keep in mind as we move through the world and the energy that's around us. So this week, we are here on July 14th, 2025, taking us through to the 21st. If you're finding this video and it's anywhere on or around July 14th, amazing. Welcome. And we're talking about all of the themes and patterns and all of that stuff that's just kind of whirling around in the ether in the moment. If you're finding this video, though, and it's not anywhere near July 14th, 2025, that is also okay, because time isn't linear. So whenever you're finding this, whatever messages are here, that's things that you are dealing with, these patterns, these energies, whether or not you're not here in the space-time continuum, like in the pinpoint, doesn't really matter, because you're finding this when you need to, okay? And all of it is right, and all of it is correct, and all of it is good. All of it just is, okay? Don't overthink it, all right? So you can settle in. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk a little bit. I've got my Oracle decks. I've got my Spicy Oracle. I've got my Tarot. We're going to kind of take a little peek at like what's coming up for us, what the universe is going to throw our way, and see if we can kind of get some insight or some clarity around it. God knows I need it. So, and it's going to be an interesting time. So, aren't these interesting times? Very unprecedented times. And the astrology is very much reflecting all of the themes that we're seeing playing out collectively, globally, and probably like personally for you. A couple things to remember about our reading today and every time that we do any kind of reading, which is pretty much weekly. And that is, number one, this is a general reading. So it may not be super specific. I guess this is the only thing, because I already told you the other thing about time not being linear. So this is actually number two. This is a general reading. Okay. So I'm reading the energy that's around us, everyone who's coming to this video. So if you're a part of the collective that's finding it, we're talking about generally patterns, themes, behaviors, situations, okay? It will look different for you versus what someone else is going through. So if there's certain things that you're like, I don't know if that's me, that's fine. It may not be everything. Use your best judgment. Rely on your intuition. I'm here just to give you a message. Okay, do with the message what you will. I encourage you to use your own brain, make your own decisions. Okay, tarot is a guide. It is not anything that is set in concrete. Nothing is set in stone. This is energy. Energy is constantly moving. All right, it's up to you what you do with the knowledge that you have. Okay, so, and I don't know what you've got going on. Okay, unless you've told me, and even if you have told me, I'm not living your life. So as far as me and how I read, I will like never really know. You're going to know more than me. Okay. So take that for what you will. Whatever feels right and useful for you, whatever insight that you're getting from this, trust that. And anything that you don't need to take with you, don't take it. You're already doing a lot. If you're finding this video, you're already doing the most. Okay. I just know. So yeah. So there you go. And we'll just get into it, shall we? Now that I'm done with my little disclaimers, okay? What do we have going on this week? It's July 14th. Yesterday, on July 13th, we saw Saturn go retrograde, which is going to be huge. And this is right on the tail end of a very... If you were here with us for our full moon messages that we did last week for the full moon, how you holding up? Because I know I have been a mess. Sleep is messed up. It literally is like someone, like the floodgates opened up. I've been holding a lot of grief. A lot of grief is coming up. A lot of things are changing. It's breakup season over here every couple months. for me, okay? But definitely like seeing people and relationships and situations for what they are. And, we're constantly being presented with the same thing over and over again in all these different situations. And whatever our personal karma is that we're working out, we're constantly being asked this question, like, what are you going to choose? Are you going to stay stuck in the pattern? Or are you going to move into this new version of you that you are becoming, that you are becoming? So, and we had that full moon was in Capricorn as well. So it really is about setting a detailed plan. A lot of it for those of us who came to this space, it was a lot of grief coming up. So, and resting in that grief and to release it, to let the new opportunity come through. And then a few days later, Saturn goes retrograde. So this is huge. Saturn was retrograde towards the end of the year last year. And Saturn is all about karma. Okay. So think about the last 6 months of your life. What choices have you made? Where are you doing things differently? Retrogrades are a time of reflection. So things are being dragged up when planets are going retrograde as well. They're going through sort of this subconscious underworld space. Okay, so shadows get brought up, triggers get pulled to the surface. We can often be more reactive. We can be less patient. I don't know. I think people perceive me as a patient person, but I'm not. Okay. There's a lot of ways that people perceive me that I just am not. Okay. So, that's me. But yeah, with Saturn going retrograde, we're talking about karma. We're talking about, are you doing the work? If you're doing the work, things are going to shift. Things are going to change. Okay. If you're not, then karma is coming to collect on that karmic debt. Okay. The choice is yours. But that's why we're here. Saturn is very Capricorn driven, which is why it's important to know that the moon was in Capricorn. Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius, okay? Which is really interesting because you wouldn't necessarily think Saturn ruled Aquarius. Actually, in like modern astrology has two planets that rule it, interestingly enough, because also it's Uranus. But Saturn is all about rules and restrictions and structure. Okay, where are we building this foundation? Saturn is the one who is like, if you're putting in the work, slow and steady, over time, you will reap your reward. But if you're not doing that, then you're not building structural foundations that are sound. So don't be surprised when it all comes crashing down around you. Or you're stuck in the same things. All right. So this is going to be a big time. Saturn's going to be retrograde for a while. He's starting his retrograde in Aries. Then he's going to shift back into Pisces. Okay. This is happening. This is taking us through all the way into November. So we're going to be in this for a while. And then not only is Saturn retrograde this week, but also on Thursday this week, 2 days from now, we're going to see Mercury go into retrograde as well. And I forget what Mercury is retrograding in right now. That's okay. Mercury retrogrades very often. And again, retrospective, reflective, okay? What's working, what's not working. And Mercury also is the planet of communication. So it may be hard to be communicating right now. Things moving, not feeling like they're moving very fast. Okay. And we've got Mercury and Saturn in retrograde at the same time. Mercury in retrograde is going to take us through August. By the time we really clear up Mercury in retrograde, after we go through its 2-week shadows phase at the end of this, is probably going to be about late August. Okay. So yeah, if there's any like big idea that you've been planning, maybe consider holding off. Maybe don't launch the thing yet. Maybe really getting clear about what the strategy is, what is the plan, what is the structure, okay? Because you want to be really crystal clear. So yeah, I anticipate that's going to be a big week. I'm really feeling a lot of it already. Saturn has already come knocking down my door, which has been a part of the grief that's come up from the full moon. Go figure. They're walking hand in hand because everything is connected. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of like what we're swimming in this week. And yeah, let's go ahead and without further ado, let's get our Oracle of Mystical Moments here. See if we can catch a little vibey vibe on what the week has in store for us. So if we could please, and thank you, have one card here that is going to show us like our main themes, our vibes. That's it. Thank you for our week ahead. What's we got? Ooh, Butterfly Garden. Beautiful imagery here. There's a lot of stillness here. There is the butterfly also representing change and transformation. Stillness in the woman here, this figure. Okay, she's holding this flower that the butterfly is flirting with, that the butterfly is curious about. And her ability to just stay still and stay centered right? This isn't startling the butterfly. So this is creating that sense of safety and security for the butterfly. So I'm kind of feeling, and we'll see if I'm on to anything here. I'm also kind of feeling that like the week this week is like your ability to sit in stillness is what's bringing in the change and transformation, is what's bringing in the beauty, is what's bringing in the blessing. Let's see if I'm on to anything. We're going to take a look at the book. Yeah. Okay. So curiosity, discovery, small moments in life, right? A woman holds a blooming flower in her hand as she gazes towards the sky. On her head sits a butterfly, closely examining the purple petals. Enjoying the situation, the woman stands still and quietly soaks in her surroundings. Okay. There's the stillness aspect. She does not want to disturb the scene. In our daily life, there are so many possible moments that could be precious if we could just take the time to notice them. Be mindful of your surroundings and pay attention. Ask, why is that there? Okay, Saturn in retrograde. Okay, Mercury retrograde, but definitely Saturn retrograde. Why is that there? Why is that there? Then make connections. Small observations can lead to great discoveries. And it's when we're in our stillness that we can see these smaller moments and see the beauty in them. There's also something there about like, yeah, finding beauty in the small moments. And it's in those small moments of beauty where we're also able to listen to the universe better. And getting curious too. This is really important. It's if you're a meditation practicer, okay. So I'm a meditation teacher. I have my own practice. That is, if you know meditation, if you do meditation, you may already know that in meditation, it's not about shutting out and it's about getting still. It's about letting your mind get quiet. But the point of your mind getting quiet is that like your mind will bring things up. And it's less about when things come up in your meditation, it's less about shutting it out, running away from it, or even changing the feeling. And it's more about getting curious about, oh, why is this here? Why is this feeling here? Why is this thought here? Who said that? You know what I mean? Have you seen that little, like, where somebody said something like this? They're like, maybe Mercury retrograde isn't annoying and it's an opportunity for you to grow and change. Who said that? Haven't you seen that? So that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And that's what in meditation is like, who said that? Why is that here? What part of me is asking to be seen? Because it's coming up because there's an element of you inside that is asking to be healed. An element of you that you have been ignoring, right? Something from the shadow. And when we have all these unhealed parts in our shadow, and they're the ones that are running everything. When I say like our subconscious things are running the show, the reason that I say that is because that's what the unconscious does. It's not like evil. It just is, it's a programming. Okay. So, so when you're working on reprogramming things and you're like, oh wait, why is that connected to that? Like, oh, this is why, because this happened and I went through these experiences and these feelings are feelings that need to be felt because this part of me is asking to be seen and loved. Okay. That's shadow work. That is beyond the shadow work. That is leading us. The shadow work is what's leading us to the individuation. And that's what this is about. It's integrating those shadow parts. Okay. To become the whole version of you, instead of these broken pieces in this unconscious echo chamber. And you're like, I don't know why these things keep happening. It's because something deep down inside is running out these same operating systems and these programmings. And yeah, anyway, so stillness. Finding moments of stillness, creating moments of stillness. If you're like me, you're already like, how am I going to do that? Because my week looks pretty packed. Okay, so, but we're going to take that time for stillness. We're going to get curious. Okay. Awesome. Let's keep going. And I've got my spicy oracle here. So there's 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, interesting. We've got, looks like it's going to be a spicy week, girl. Okay, we've got, yeah, I'm going to run with it and see if I can make any sense of it. We have, now you try. Okay, so that's giving me like opportunity. Now you try. This one's on me. This one's on me. And, hang on. This is the way we're going to read these. I see it now. This one's on me. Now you try. Yeah. This one's on me. Now you try. And done. Okay. So what does it mean? This one's on me. There's an element here of like being shown the way. Wait. Okay. I'm like getting this sense that it's like Saturn actually, that is like, this one's on me. Here you go. Look at this mess. This is on me. You know, like, you're welcome. And it's funny because it is like, it often feels like it's not a blessing, but it is. That's why I'm laughing, because it's funny. And I don't expect that kind of humor from Saturn necessarily. He's pretty stoic. But okay, so this one's on me, LOL. Now you try. So you know, I think this one on me too is like, this is like maybe the gift or the opportunity of like a moment when we're in our stillness where we're like, oh, like we see it. This gift of knowledge that's coming in. This one's on me. This is how you're going to do this. Now you try. Okay. So it's like a key. It's like a formula almost is what I'm like picking up here. And then your opportunity to give it a try. Right? And done. And then there you have it. Like that's how we're going to do it. Then you get it. Then you really know. I'm really picking up on the imagery of like the hammer, the nail, like what's it? The last nail in the coffin, or that feels not the quite analogy, but it is like hammering that nail in, and that's it. That's it. That's it. All right. Is this making sense? I don't know either. Let's keep going. We'll pull out our tarot and let's see if we could just please have 3 cards to show us. Boop, boop. Whoa, hello. Okay, 1. Is this 2? Yes, and I'll keep shuffling for 3. Or is that it? I'm going to keep shuffling for our 3rd. Whoops, there it is. That's why. Thank you. Okay. Boop. Whoa! Sam Daddy. Whew. Okay. Okay. All right. Give me a second. I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna be right back. Okay. Let's start with our shadow card. Underneath the bottom of the deck, again, this is representing the subconscious. What we have here is just below the surface for you, and this is what's running the whole show. You are certainly moving away from things, people, places that are no longer serving you. You are being divinely guided. You are being divinely led. There still is this element of self-preservation. We're still kind of carrying the baggage a little bit with us, but we are moving into a new place, a better and brighter future here. Okay. I think the reason why maybe feeling guarded, feeling this need to protect yourself is because there's a real release of conflict. I'm going to go ahead and say it's inner conflict because we're talking about the subconscious, but that inner conflict comes out, you know, what's inside is reflecting outside. Okay. And we're all mirrors of each other. So, but whatever this inner conflict is, it has felt like I have to do this at all costs. It doesn't matter, you know, who gets hurt along the way. Maybe the disappointment or the anguish of not getting to the top. You see this person who's like on the top of the mountain and there's like the blood there. A lot of this too is like the mental anguish. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Sorry, I just saw something for the first time in this card. Which is this sort of light, this divine light being shown down on the person who's on the mountain. And this particular person really feeling like left out in the cold, maybe feeling like your blessings are going to someone else. I think we're releasing this feeling, this messaging here, releasing this sense of conflict. Whatever this is, though, whatever conflict that we're moving away from, it is, you know, we're in a very vulnerable position with a strength in reverse. We don't feel very empowered. Maybe we don't feel like we're standing in our strength. Okay, we are feeling a little vulnerable, which I was picking up here. Just the way that this figure is guarded. Red is often a very protective color. You feel me? So this is leaving us feeling very vulnerable. It's, you know, we're feeling very stuck. But we are moving away. Like we're moving out of all of this energy. We're moving out of this phase with this like lack of inspiration. The trick here is the movement. If that means anything to anybody, it means something to me. Like physically moving. Like getting up and moving. Go for a walk. Right? Dance break for 30 seconds. I don't know. But this is what gets the inside stuff flowing. We don't feel like doing it because, again, we're feeling pretty vulnerable. But the way that we get unstuck, we're vulnerable with whatever this conflict is that we're releasing, but the conflict has left us stuck, and it's left us feeling really uninspired. And it is the movement that brings us out of this. We are releasing a lot from the shadow. We are stepping out of these self-destructive patterns and behaviors, toxic dynamics. This could even be like as serious. The devil often represents things like addiction and stuff like that. But moreover, this is very much about self-limiting beliefs, self-sabotage. Okay. We're releasing all of that. We do not do things unconsciously anymore. We also don't give power. A lot of the devil, like we feel that something is controlling us when really it's our choice to stay entangled. Okay. But we're releasing that. So I'm also seeing like a lot of cord cutting here that's happening. I think with the Magician in reverse, we need to be mindful of either doubting your own magic, doubting your own power, or we're recognizing those moments where our magic is operating out of a place of ego. Okay. But there is a real sense of potential for happiness, for love, for healing here. Okay. So that's all that's going on underneath the surface, which is a lot. As far as what we've got going on in our week, this is it's going to be a big one for sure. The Hermit in reverse is indicating to me that we're stepping out of some kind of darkness here. We are coming into the light. Maybe there's been a period of isolation that you have felt. We're coming out of that. And a lot of what, as we're coming out of that, is with the Four of Cups in reverse. So we're starting to really realize where we are blessed by the universe, where we are supported by the universe, where there is beauty, right? Again, this is kind of linking us back to our butterfly garden, like being still and being curious. This is where we find the beauty in life. And this is walking us through a portal of transformation here with the Death and Rebirth card. So yeah, again, because a lot of like walking away, a lot of release this week. So again, stillness. Wherever there's space, create that stillness for yourself, because this is huge transformation by the end of the week. Okay. Things will be leaving though, because yes, this is death and rebirth. So we are stepping into a new beginning, but there's so much that we have to let go of in the process. Ugh, girl, don't I know it? All right. But beautiful, beautiful new beginning here again. And that echoes what we saw with the Ace of Cups. All right. No, it's backwards. So this is what we've got happening. All right. We are not going to be the same person by the end of this week that we were when we started. Yeah. Yeah. I think also too, the Four of Cups, I think there's the element of like the gratitude of finding the beauty, finding those still moments of stillness, the gratitude for the curiosity I think we're really going to be tapping into that and seeing how that's bringing us out of our own darkness here. Okay. And into our next chapter. But I'm going to tell you right now, whatever it is you want to take with you, you can't take it with you. You've still got some baggage here. I mean, I know you're going to try, but listen, it's Saturn retrograde, so you can't take it with you if you want to move, if you want to move forward. Wow, getting it off to a pretty big start here with that retrograde. Okay, that's what I've got. Does this make sense? Hopefully you were able to get a little bit of insight here. Hopefully this was hopeful. And if it wasn't, if it didn't give you any sense of clarity or insight, hopefully it was entertaining. That's all I can ask. Yeah, this is what we've got going on. More will be revealed. We'll see how it goes. Looks like it's going to be interesting. Looks like it will be a little spicy because we've got the double Diablo here with the fire. Yeah, we're going to see how it shakes down. But that's all I've got for today. So thank you for being here. And if you liked this video, please like, share, subscribe, do whatever, or don't. It doesn't actually matter. This is my gift to you. And if you are interested in connecting with me in other ways, you can check out where to do that. There's a description box down below. There's Instagram, there's TikTok, there's, all the things, whatever. I don't really do too much with it anyway. But if you want to connect with me, you can, and you should. Let's do it. Why not? We're in this together, clearly. And yeah, I am wishing you so much luck and love as we walk through this week. And for real, I will be seeing you on the other side.